Okay, return on equity. So what's the formula for return on? I'll provide you all these formulas, okay? So, and as I said, I'll review for the test on Monday. But what are how will I ask these questions on the test? I'll show you some financial statements, and I'll ask you to compute some ratios and interpret those ratios and, answer the questions, on those ratios. So return on equity, this is here. So I'm gonna list the formula here. So once again, net income available to common shareholders divided by owner's equity. Okay, owners or shareholders, remember we also called it net worth. Owner's equity, shareholders' equity, stockholders' equity. Okay, return on equity. So what kind of return are shareholders receiving? So let's click on this, and once again, equal sign. So we click on income statement, and we use the same net income number as we have used before. Net income number is negative 116 here in B39. Division. Click on balance sheet. Look for owner's equity, stockholders' equity, common stock. This number here, which is 43, B43. And this is the answer. Income statement B39 divided by balance sheet B43. So, and remember, this is the book value. In reality, if you're a stockholder, if you have been a JCPenney stockholder, you'll be watching this board for JCPenney stock price. And what you have been seeing is that the JCPenney stock price has been falling. So this is an accounting entry, okay? It may or may not have any relationship to the actual loss suffered by shareholders. Okay, this is an accounting number, what we are doing. So what does it mean? For each $1 that shareholders invested in the firm, okay, they lost 8 pennies last year. 8 pennies last year. So their equity shrank. Their share of the pie shrank by 8% last year. Okay, so let's copy this. So they don't look very good, these numbers, and as I said, historically JCPenney has not been doing well for the past 6-7 years. Okay, let's save it. Okay. Now, you can call them EPS. Know what EPS stands for? Does anyone know what EPS stands for?
Earnings per share.
Earnings per share. E stands for earnings. P for earnings. P for per shares. Earnings per share. And what's the formula? I will not be providing you this formula, so you better know what it is because it's so simple. I'm gonna write it down here. Earnings per share, EPS. What do you think? Take a guess. Earnings per share. You take the total income and divide by number of shares outstanding. That's why I want you to not fret over it. It's so simple. The name itself will tell you what to do. So you have net income, okay, and you divide by number of shares outstanding. Number of common shares outstanding. Okay, so this is EPS. So profit per share, that's what it means. Of course, it's going to be negative. I want to see where they provide the number of shares outstanding. Generally, they provide somewhere on the balance sheet. Even if they don't provide, we can go online and find it in just a moment. So Does anyone see number of shares outstanding anywhere? Value of common shares repurchased.
41 shares outstanding.
What line is it?
41.
On the balance sheet?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, you're right. So they provide us shares outstanding. Okay, so let's go back to our ratios sheet. And I don't have, so we need to enter this. So we'll enter EPS here. And equal sign, we'll do it for just 1 year. So we'll click on income statement and net income, B38, and we divide it by, go to the balance sheet, and row 41, 312. So both are in millions, so that's what you want to keep in mind. The numerator and the denominator both are in millions of dollars. So this is the answer. So this is the formula. Income statement B38 divided by balance sheet B41. So per share they lost how much? 37 cents.
Is it B38 or B39?
B38 is what
They
I
both
have.
have the same number, but I think one of them says is net income and the other one's something different.
Yeah. You want to use net income?
The one you used was comprehensive income or cumulative net income. Is there a difference between cumulative net income and net income?
Let me see. Okay, this is, in order to answer that question, what they do is they have discontinued operations. So those are abnormal, activities. So when they shut down some stores, and they have some tax, losses or tax gains. So those are one-time items. So you want to ignore one-time items. Okay, so you will not use cumulative. Okay, you will use just one time for that 1 year, because cumulative can distort, your analysis.
Yeah, they're both the same number, but you did use 38,
Yeah, in
which
this,
is
yes,
cumulative.
in this
Okay.
case, yes, because they didn't discontinue any operations, so therefore they didn't have anything. All right, so this will be only for 1 year, okay, because we don't know how many shares outstanding there were for, I think we can do it for other, the number of shares outstanding is given. Okay, so let's copy this, I think it will work for, so we can copy this. Oops. Okay, we can't do any industry comparison because I didn't provide you any industry average. So they were losing much more a few years back, $1.65 per share. They became profitable, last year, 2017. In 2018, it was back to, losses. Okay. The next is, now, the last two, I would not call these as profitability, okay? I would call them valuation. Some practitioners, in case you're wondering, well, how are these prices? So how are these prices determined? Are there some formulas, some approaches? Yes, I'm gonna show you there are tens of different approaches to value these stocks, okay? So no one approach works, so we apply multiple approaches. So these are valuation approaches. So these approaches tell you how to value, these common stocks, okay? So let's talk about the first approach, which is the PE approach. So once again, don't expect me to provide a formula because it's very simple. P stands for price, that's all you need to remember. So price, there is no formula for price, either it's given or you look at the board and there you have those prices, right? And E stands for earnings per share. So remember, E stands for earnings per share. So it's just a ratio, so the name tells you how to compute this ratio, so it's gonna be, the PE ratio is price per share, okay? Either it's given, as I said, or you can, check online, and earnings per share, EPS, earnings per share. So this is what this ratio is. So know this, I won't give you the formula, I won't explain what this is. So PE means this, price per share divided by earnings per share.